everyone, welcome back to the Captain Logan Show. It is I, Captain Logan. And joining me as always is my wonderful chat moderator and producer, DJ Martinez.
Oh, hi.
What's up, DJ? Oh, and also Jason's here.
Yep, I'm here.
Jason's guesting just at the beginning of the show tonight. He's actually going to run off in a few minutes. But before we get going into our second Would You Rather show, this is a thing we did months ago, last year, that we really enjoyed and thought we would bring back tonight. Just on a whim, a couple hours before the show, I went, you know what would be fun? I was like, would I rather do a regular show or a Would You Rather? And I answered that question with Would You Rather. So that's what we're going to do this evening. Please make sure that all of your questions are in the format Would You Rather, this thing or this other thing, or would you rather, you have this thing or this other thing, do this thing or this other thing, etc., etc. That's going to be the format for this evening. As always, you can leave a super chat in any dollar amount to make sure that your question is read and talked about on air. But if you don't want to do that, you can just leave a pre-written question, and we will do as many of those as we can as well. But before we do all of that, I'm going to give Jason the floor, and he would like to promote a brand new project that he's working on, and then we're going to show you guys a sample of it. So, Jason, why don't you take it away and talk about what you're working on?
So, I just started a new channel called Video Game Secrets, and it's kind of an educating channel about video games and like secrets in video games, and you can learn a lot, and the videos are in like a minute, so
really short format.
It's really short, so you can learn like 5 things in a minute.
They're basically TikToks, but we're putting them on YouTube, and I say we. This was all Jason's decision. But Jason, why did you decide to go with YouTube instead of TikTok?
Because all of them are over a minute.
Slightly.
Like by like 7 seconds, and one was like 30.
So they're always going to be in the shorter format, but it gives Jason the leeway to make them a little bit longer if the topic necessitates it. And also at some point, if you wanted to do like a bigger research project and do like a 10, 20, 30-minute video, it would give you a place to put it.
Yeah.
So do you want to go ahead and show it?
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and first link the channel so that you guys can subscribe if you're so inclined. I'm going to put this in the comments right now. This is Jason's Video Game Secrets channel. Let me also put this in the description because we just decided to promote this a little while ago and I didn't get that in there. But Jason's Video Game Secrets channel. Okay, so that's I actually just linked his first video, but you'll be able to subscribe from there, of course. And I'm just going to play directly from there and show you guys his first episode. You're planning on posting these weekly?
Yeah.
So it'll just be 1 minute a week. Real short stuff,
yeah.
But a lot of information crammed in, and hopefully you'll find it entertaining. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and play this for you. It's just a minute long. We screen share it so that DJ is also able to see this and not accidentally just show DJ his own face, because I've done that before.
Wait, did you accidentally show him his own face?
I've done that before, and he hates looking at his own face. It's a thing.
Disgusting.
As you can see. Everybody ready? Here we go.
Yep.
Here we go.
And welcome to Video Game Secrets. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 things that Nintendo did when they found out that Super Mario Bros. Didn't have that much space left. So let's go. Nintendo took this cloud, painted it green, and now it's grass. The ending theme actually had an extra part, but Nintendo had to take it out. The pipe sound is actually the underground theme. The one-up sound is actually the stage clear theme. The power-up sound is also the stage clear theme, but sped up. Cool, right? See you next time.
Cool, Cool, right? So that is Jason's new channel. Check it out if you are at all into video games. And Jason, do you want to... Oh, it's a SNES trunk. Hold on. I love that guy, but we're not promoting him this evening. So everybody check out SNES trunk, though. He's great. I love his videos. You should watch those if you haven't. Jason?
I haven't.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know who that is.
He does short 4 or 5 minute reviews on Super Nintendo games and also Genesis and some other stuff. But they're just I guess I am promoting him right now. They're short, but he's doing like everything. And he's been at it for 8 years, and they're really good. And he's finally developed a really big base. He's at like 200,000 subscribers and deserves it. He's just wonderful. But I'm just saying that because I accidentally played it. Anyway, subscribe to Jason's channel, and hopefully he can develop a following and get blown up with that. I am so impressed with Jason's editing job with that. He did that entire thing inside of a tablet. He's not using any of my equipment at all to make that show, and I was really surprised and blown away by what he was able to do.
Just this. I did everything on this.
So, Jason, do you want to real quick mention maybe like a teaser of 1 or 2 other things that you're thinking about doing in the future with that show, or just the sorts of things people can expect? Like, is it all going to be retro? Is it all going to be Nintendo? Or, like, what things can people expect to learn more video game secrets about?
So it's not all going to be Nintendo, to answer your question, and it along the way I might do 1 or 2 that are like more modern, but I will probably go to like Wii games, and like that's
kind of the most recent sort of thing.
The most recent. Like every once in a while, I'll probably do like something from like a Wii U or Switch game or whatever. But
Mr. Roboto says, great work, Jason. Donnie St. Pierre says, that's super impressive, Jason. Wait until you see some of his other ones, because he's already made a few, and they're just great. Stone Gaspin, $5 super chat. Can Jason finally reveal the secret message from the Twinkies, which Morris sends Davey to obtain at the beginning of Cloak and Dagger? Also subscribed. Thanks, Stone. You've got to watch Cloak and Dagger. I think you'd enjoy that movie.
Okay. But that's not a video game. That's a movie.
Yes, but it is a video game movie, kind of. So
it is?
Yeah, that's why he mentioned that.
Oh,
or it's got
so
a video
I
game
gotta...
component to it, yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't have to do video game movies. But
and I think he's the guy who requested that and asked me to. Although you could do like secrets about the Wizard or secrets about other video game movies.
Yeah, like,
Mortal Kombat.
Like why he calls the levels rounds in the Wizard.
We should do a commentary on the Wizard.
Yes, because that movie's. I mean, I've already reviewed it like 5 years ago. But...
Oh yeah, I forgot you did. We did talk about that together.
But that was 5 years ago. No, it wasn't. It was like 3. But
Jason, you want to stick around for 1 or 2 minutes and see if anybody wants to ask you a would you rather?
yes.
We'll take the first really good would you rather question for Jason while I'm maybe getting started on the would you rathers for me.
And it could be like video game related or whatever related.
It'd be really cool if it was, but yeah.
That's what this.
And then if the ones that I get in the interim are things that you have answers for, obviously you can answer them as well. And then we'll go ahead and get you going your way, because I bet Jason just wants to run off so you can work some more on his channel.
Yeah.
DJ, what do you see, man?
I have some would you rathers here. Well, I have a super chat from Jedi Knight. Real quick, while I'm doing this, could you just bump the screen share back off just so I can see it?
Sorry about that.
No
totally
worries.
Forgot about that.
I just feel like I'll be a better interactive. There you go. I interact with you guys better when I can see you. Otherwise, I feel awkward.
Well, you're just looking at a screen you're already looking at, sort of.
Jedi Knight, would you rather own Marvel or DC? Little.
Yeah, that's tough. Boy, it just depends on what my motivation would be for purchasing said company, right? I mean, there are days
Make
that
the DCEU better.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, I mean,
but also make the MCU better.
I don't know if I would be able to do that at all. It would probably make it worse.
No, it's a tough question. I mean, if you're just saying the comic company strictly, and you didn't actually own the movie side, I would say in modern, currently, just which company do I think, based on what little I've read in the last few years, because I've I mean, this tells you how I felt about the industry lately. I've just kind of dropped off and haven't been reading much. I would probably buy Marvel over DC because I think DC has been in a better place lately, and Marvel hasn't been making a lot of things for me, and I feel like they've kind of, forgotten their audience to some degree. But if it's the whole package, it's really hard not to say DC just because of my love for Batman, and just like on a selfish note, just what I would more be interested in, infecting, or I should say affecting the future of, would be Batman. But I mean, all of that's not in terrible shape. But yeah, with what Jason said, I mean, on the movie side, obviously there's a lot of things with the MCU that I feel like could be better. But sorry, people are sending me messages here. And I'm not sure how to turn that off. Suddenly, every time I get a Facebook message, whether I've got Facebook open or not, I'm getting dings, and I need to go in and figure out how to turn that off because I don't know why it started. If that keeps happening, I'll just have to tell Brandon to leave me alone because he's the one that just sent me a message.
Oh, goody. I hope so. I think it probably must be running in the background or something.
But yeah, I would probably be more concerned about the DCEU than the MCU, even at this date, and would go there just to help it be less gimmicky and just more, I don't know. I used to say straightforward. I guess that's not its problem as much anymore, but just cohesive and coherent. Yeah. I think at the moment I would pick DC over Marvel. That's a difficult choice, though. It's hard. I wouldn't want to do either of those jobs, let me say.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
We got a super chat from Matches35. He just says, just wanted to say hi, guys.
So, would you rather? Thanks, buddy. Thanks for
hello.
We'll
allow it.
we'll allow it. It wasn't a question at all, though, so we'll allow it. He just wanted to
Mr. Roboto.
Hi to you, too. Hope your day has been going wonderfully well.
And hope the rest of it does as well. Mr. Roboto, 5 more seasons of Gotham, or make Spawn Year 2. Your choice.
Man, there are not a lot of questions that make me make that face. By the way, did you see that? I went like full on Violator over that question, or like Malbolgia, or Spawn Year 2. What I. I'm gonna, honestly, this is not that difficult, and, I mean, it sounds like it should be really hard, but it's a matter of having to binge, unless I had to watch it in real time, I guess it would be 5 years out of my life, but, all things being equal, there are 5 more years of content of Gotham that I have to watch, versus I have to make an entire year of more Spawn. Yeah, I'd take Gotham. I mean, over having to make that, just because, it's a lot of work. Like, it's not just reading crappy material, it's also having to come up with something interesting to say about it, and stay passionate enough about it that the thing remains interesting. I don't have to do that as much. Even if I'm reviewing Gotham, it's all off the cuff. The pressure's not on as much. So yeah, I guess I would take 5 more years of Gotham than 1 more year of trying to review more Spawn. Especially having read a little bit of the Spawn that came after what I finished with at the end of Spawn Year. I don't want to do that.
Oh, here's a good one.
Now, to be fair, real quick, I'm also saying that having not quite seen the end of Gotham yet. I've got like 6 episodes left, so I could get to the end of that show and go, oh God, I couldn't deal with any more of this at all. Yeah, bring on Spawn Year 2, but I'm not there yet. So at the moment, I'm going to say 5 more years of Gotham.
T-Edge1.
Yeah, hi, Tom.
Would you rather play the Diamond or Pearl remake?
Oh, he's asking that for Jason.
Diamond.
Okay,
because
why?
I've always wanted to play Diamond, and it came out on my birthday. And Diamond is my birthstone. And it came out on April 2nd, 2007. So, like 3 years before I was born. But it's my but April 22nd is my birthday. I didn't know if you knew that. You probably didn't know that. But Diamond is my birthstone, and so Diamond. And now I'm just repeating myself.
He's given that some thought.
Wow, there you go. Nailed it.
That's awesome. Okay, well, Jason, I guess you've done your due diligence here. Thanks a lot for being here and promoting your new show. Everybody, please consider subscribing to Jason's new channel, Video Game Secrets, and he will have a new one of those up for you next week. You're planning on putting those out on what day of the week, sir?
Fridays.
So first one today, so we can promote it here. That is public, and you guys can watch it right now. But next Friday, a brand new one. And do you want to reveal the topic, or do you want to wait and let people see it when it pops out?
Should I reveal the topic?
Totally up to you. Totally up to you.
I will reveal the topic. I guess. So my next topic, and you will probably be confused, but I'm just gonna say that my next topic is going to be the GameCube intro. Bye.
And believe it or not, there's a lot to say about that, and it's fascinating. It's really cool.
Sweet.
Okay, there goes Jason. Jason, thanks for being here, buddy. Thanks for being on the show. It's always weird to say. It's always weird to say thanks for being here.
Yeah.
To a kid that lives
get
here.
Back to work. Carry that chair up the stairs.
Yeah, I make him bring his own chair up and down the stairs.
That was just one of the chairs from the.
That was lovely. Really, I love what you did with the place.
Perfect placement. The feng shui is on point, Jason. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
All right, thanks, buddy. All right, bye, Jason. Let's get to some more of these Would You Rathers. We're going to try to knock out as many of these as humanly possible before the show is over. I don't know how many we've got. I don't know if we'll run out really quickly, but if you ask a really profound or fascinating one, I could spend way too long on it. So let's get rolling. Go ahead, DJ.
All right. We got another great one from TH1 here. Very relevant. Would you rather have a stream cut out in the middle of a sentence or at the beginning of a sentence? Great show tonight.
That's great. I think I would rather... It depends on the sentence, right? That is absolutely a depends question. If it really required follow-up and then all the comments after that are... Wait, what were you going to say, though? What was the end of that? You know, if it was a thesis statement, I would really want it to cut out before that happens. But then at the same time, beginning of the statement, those... I wish I could put in a third option. It's before the sentence even begins, because at the beginning of the statement, it could be the same thing. 3 words in, we have to know what the end of that sentence was. So I'd rather not cut out at all, of course.
Well, yeah, that's option C. But yeah, and you could be saying something super profound off the cuff, and then they don't hear it because it cuts out, and then you don't know.
And I don't remember what in the world it was I was saying. Yeah. DJ,
Absolutely.
That's almost an impossible question, because I feel like it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. I guess I'm gonna say mid-sentence.
Just to keep the viewers in suspense, just for drama.
Yeah, that's a fun question. I like that, Tom. But yes, that happened last night, and I want to apologize to everybody who was watching the stream and didn't get to see us resolve the chord. We weren't able to quite finish that video, but we were right at the end. We honestly just didn't have a chance to say bye to everybody. And if you're wondering why I didn't come back in and say anything, it's because the reason the stream dropped was my internet went down completely and didn't come back up for like an hour. So I couldn't really go in and leave any comments in the live stream because I didn't have any way to get to it because the stream was over. So the only thing I could do was leave I guess I could have put in a public message on the social media, but DJ went in on the actual show and left a message. I think I asked you to do that. I don't know if it happened, but if you were able to, but
I was going to, but the stream shut down.
Okay, so anyway, that's your explanation. That's what ended up happening. But I was really glad that we were able to get through your whole tutorial, and some of those follow-up questions were really great, and we got to talk for about an hour and 20 minutes. So that was really good. And I was really surprised by the turnout, and also how many folks have turned out so far to watch it after the fact. People seem to really enjoy that and got a lot out of it. So thanks so much for putting that together, DJ.
Oh, of course. It was fun. And thanks, guys, for showing up. It was awesome. Real quick, TH1 asks in a super chat, next generation, no more?
Jason wants to do some more videos for that, but he's always been off again, on again with that. Every now and again, he'll start posting some videos, and then he'll get busy with something else. He's really wanting to focus hard on making sure that he can get one of these out a week for the foreseeable future for his new channel. So he may do some more Geeflution the Next Generation videos, but he really wants to see if he can develop this, and I don't know how long he's planning on doing it. I don't think he does either, but he kind of just wants to exhaust all the topics in his head and do this project for a while. So we'll see if he can build a little bit of a following, get some people to watch it, because I'm learning things from it that I didn't know, and I'm sure I can't be alone. So Jason is a fountain of knowledge when it comes to video games, and I know there's a lot of channels that do that kind of thing already, but Jason is constantly researching, and like I said, I mean, I listen to a lot of video game videos, and the few that he's made so far, every one of them has had at least one piece of information I didn't know in it. So he finds he finds a lot of stuff, scraping the bottom, coming up with stuff that I had no idea was a thing. So.
Yeah, and if nothing else, even if it doesn't go anywhere, like having this time capsule of where he was at this age in his life, and will be really cool to have that channel all set up.
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's get back to it, shall we?
If he's doing it for the next 3 years, it will be really funny when his voice changes, like in the middle of it.
Yeah. Back to the regular chat. Blue Dragon 5, would you rather have a subscription to the Daily Planet or the Daily Bugle?
That's interesting. I would say Daily Planet because I could trust it more.
Real news.
Yeah, the actual news. And also just I would be more interested in reading news about cool stuff Superman is doing than allegedly terrible crimes Spider-Man is committing while he's saving people. So definitely Daily Planet.
All right, well, that was...
One of these editors is more above board than the other.
All right, back. We just got a super chat from Stone Gassman.
Thanks, man. Cool. By the way, I brought this up before, but unless he left a message and I never got to, or he left a comment, I never got to see it. I have asked Stone Gassman before if that's his real name, and I don't think I've ever gotten an answer to that because I think it's the coolest name ever. I want to know if that's his actual name.
I don't know. He's got a normal profile photo, so it might be his normal name.
And he's probably told me before, and then I ended up missing the comment. But we got to really watch for it tonight if he comments again. I think maybe he just wants to keep me in suspense and wondering forever if that's actually his name. Anyway.
I support that.
What's his Would You Rather?
Would you rather see an animated movie of 1970s Wonder Woman with Linda Carter's voice or The Greatest American Hero with William Katt's voice?
Okay, so I'm going to have to by default say Wonder Woman because I haven't seen an episode of Greatest American Hero since I was a kid, and I don't remember it at all. I own it. I got the box set. I got one of the box sets, at least. I can't remember. It came out in seasons, but I've not watched it in a long time, and I don't remember anything. So I guess I just have to say Wonder Woman. But that's a neat question. I wish I knew my stuff better. That's a neat question.
That's cool. Yeah, I don't even know what that is. I'll have to look into that.
It is a comedy about a guy who gets a superhero suit. I know the premise. It's a comedy show, superhero thing about, I think it was early 80s, late 70s, about a guy who gets a superhero suit and it doesn't come with instructions and he doesn't understand how it works. And every episode there's some kind of silly quirk with the costume.
Oh no, we just got a bit of DCEU news, but we can't talk about it because we're doing Would You Rather only.
Oh no, Is it major?
Title confirmation?
Oh, we should probably at least mention it real quick. Can we do that? What is it?
I don't know if it's... Rainbow Nightmare just says, at Geekvolution, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, title confirmed. Your thoughts?
Okay, yeah. Well, I just wanted you to bring it up and tell me what the news was. We won't comment on it real hard since we're doing this Would You Rather show. We'll talk about it in a couple weeks because I'm going to be out of town all next week. Now, I say that. I'm going to do at least one live show with Jason while I'm in Branson, and DJ probably won't be able to be on that show because I'm not going to be able to bring my whole setup with me, and these days, since we don't have Google Plus anymore, there's not any good way to do remote stuff without OBS, and I can't do OBS on a tablet, and I don't have a laptop to bring with me because I just haven't needed a laptop in a long time. I guess this would be the thing I would need that for, but I don't travel that much. So anyway, that's so I could end up talking about certain news things if people want to bring them up on a show next week. That could happen, but I digress.
That's true. We did do From the Road on tablet when we were using Google Hangouts.
And it was specifically in Branson, yeah, because it was when I was there a couple of years ago for Jason's dance competition, and then last year the dance competition didn't happen, or I don't think it happened. I think it got canceled along with everything else. And then this year, usually Sarah takes him, and a couple of years ago we just took the whole family and made a vacation out of it. This year I have to go because my wife is pregnant enough she can't travel at this point, so that's why I'm going with Jason, just us this time. And it's gonna be a lot of fun though. We're gonna take a vacation ourselves. We're gonna be gone for 6 days, and we're gonna be in a resort, so he's got some dance things to do, but there are at least 3 or 4 days where we're not gonna have anything but downtime, so we're gonna have a vacation there as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. But I just don't have any great way to bring DJ in. So if something brilliant comes to me, DJ, I'll let you know, and I'll ask if you want to do a show. But at the moment, it is probably just going to be me modding myself. Yeah.
Oh, no worries.
Right off the bat, I don't have any response really to that title. It sounds like a fine enough title.
Sounds like a Jurassic Park movie to me. But anyway,
I guess I would wonder what the Lost Kingdom is, because, I mean, is it Atlantis itself, where, like, it's lost to the rest of the world, but now they, like, discover that it's real? Or is there yet another kingdom that the Atlanteans discovered that they thought was lost? I don't know. Anyway.
Phil Kelton, will Jason review Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous?
I hope not, because I hope he doesn't watch it. I saw a couple episodes of that and thought it was atrocious. The pilot was, not my thing, and I don't like that animation style, but I was like, this is fine. And then I say that. It was the pilot that made me mad. 15 minutes in, I was like, nope! And I don't even remember exactly what it was, and I don't want to talk about it, but I didn't like it. It was just, I don't know.
Moving on.
I don't want to get into it.
Anyway.
It was, I don't know. It was real standard modern kind of pandery drivel, I thought, but anyway, whatever.
Blue Dragon 5, would you rather trade all of your Batman memorabilia?
Oh, man.
Oh, what could be on the other side of that? For Superman memorabilia, or all of your Star Trek memorabilia for X-Men memorabilia?
That's an awesome one, yeah, because I thought that was going to go into torture territory again, where it was like...
At least you get cool stuff in return.
Yeah, because we already had, like, the Gotham Spawn thing, where it's like, people just want to put me in some kind of a torture chamber. Your agonizer, please. Like, it seems like, stop it with the agony booth. Anyway, so okay, Batman stuff for Superman stuff. Because I would love a bigger Superman memorabilia collection, absolutely. Especially after being to the Superman Museum in Metropolis the umpteenth number of times I've been there. I love that place, and he's got an amazing collection, one of the greatest on Earth of anything. Batman for Superman, or what was the other one? Star Trek for
X-Men.
X-Men.
Curveball.
I honestly think, as much as I love my Batman collection at this point, my Star Trek collection is the more impressive of the two, and it would be harder to let it go. But I do need to talk about this in terms of what it would be replaced with, and that's what makes it difficult. And I think he did this on purpose, because I would rather have more Superman stuff than X-Men stuff. So this is brilliantly, like, brain trippy.
That's what it's how you said, because you would get Batman was for Superman, so keep Star Trek and get Superman.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
If you had switched it, it would be
harder. You're right. That would be a lot harder. But no, this is actually easier. Yeah, it would definitely be Batman for Superman. Yeah. Because I would get
I think he was trying to do that, though, because I think that's why he put Batman.
He probably figured my Batman collection would be harder to give up, and I would cry. Don't get me wrong, but 2 years ago, the answer to that would have been different. But last year, I got into an amazing haul of Star Trek 70s and 80s memorabilia, particularly novels and reference and stuff, and some really valuable stuff, really hard to find stuff, and things I've always wanted that I didn't think I'd get my hands on. And thanks once again to Vince's mother for selling me her Star Trek collection. She was a huge avid...
wow.
I mean, she still is, but she's a big avid Star Trek fan, and she finally decided to sell her collection and wanted it. I talked about this in Star Trek Club, but not a lot of people watch that show, so some of you guys won't have heard this before. But I showed off the new stuff that I bought there. She gave me an amazingly reasonable price on it. I had to take her up on it. She was having a yard sale. She didn't sell any of the stuff really at the yard sale, and Vince sent me a message and was like, hey, my mom's selling a lot of her Star Trek stuff at this yard sale. You should make her an offer. So I sent her a message. She's like, wait, you want all of it? I was like, yeah. And and we talked, and she was just excited that it was going to me, because she knew how much I cared about it and would take care of it. And I sent her pictures.
Yeah, that's got to be so cool for her.
I sent her pictures of what it looks like in my collection, and she could not have been more ecstatic, and it was so. I'm really, really glad that it worked out that way. If she wanted to get rid of it, that she got a little bit of money for it, but also it went to a good home, and it's being preserved, and some of the best stuff is on display, and people will get to enjoy it for years to come now.
That's so
So
cool.
I was really proud
And if
of.
she really wants to, she can come see it. I mean, you're best friends with Vince.
Of
You
course, yeah. So I was really just happy and proud that that whole thing happened, and that by itself, I mean, my collection was already pretty good. That by itself would make it harder to get rid of my Star Trek stuff than my Batman stuff.
Wow, that's cool. I didn't know that. That's awesome. Mr. Butto, would you rather live? He says, would rather live. I'm assuming he means live action Voltron film or Power Rangers.
Definitely Power Rangers. I don't have any stake in Voltron. It's just a thing I don't know a lot about. I've tried to watch a little bit of the Netflix show, and it wasn't for me. I heard great things about it. I think the animation is really good. It has some of the anime type sensibilities. I don't think it technically is an anime, but it has some of the comedic anime sensibilities that are just not my bag. And I've learned that I'm not anti-anime or I don't care for anime. It's that anime barely is a genre. It's animation made by people in a particular country, so it covers a wide variety of different styles and ideas and in genres, and some of the
I'm
humor.
sure there's a term for that kind of that humor that you're thinking of that we just don't know because we're not versed in different kinds of anime. But I'm sure there's a term for that.
Some of those humor sensibilities just rub me the wrong way, and I have a hard time getting into it. I used to have that with a lot more of it, though. Like, I'm kind of over, to some degree, if the stories are well written and the things that are trying to be dramatic are dramatic. I've gotten used to the jarring transitions between dramatic stuff in anime and suddenly a person with really exaggerated facial expressions bursting into tears with water flying out of their eyes and stuff like that. I'm over that. I can watch a thing that has that now. I didn't used to be able to do that. But that show, what little I sampled of it, went to a little bit more potty humor places and stuff, and I just couldn't get into it. But I didn't see anything related to Voltron growing up. So I realized that those are connected things because giant robots. But also, it's pretty much just giant robots, and I need the other part of Power Rangers also.
Yeah, that the giant robots was always the part of Power Rangers I didn't like. So yeah, that probably wouldn't appeal to me at all.
I'm cool with 4 minutes of it right at the end of a show, you know.
Yeah. My ex-wife is a cow.
He's back.
Would you? For some reason, in my head it sounds like when I'm reading that, like I'm reading a children's book, but I'm not at all. That would be a very dark children's book.
But I'm imagining the cover now. That's a great mental picture. You're at a library reading to children. My ex-wife is a cow. And then you turn the page. My ex-wife is a cow by Jon Stewart. And you're like, not Jon Stewart. It's just the first name that came to my mind.
Jon Stewart.
But then when I did that voice, now I'm not imagining a lady in a library reading to children, but rather the book on tape version, like the storybook tape with the book version. You get that storybook and you turn on the tape. My ex-wife is a cow, published by Simon and Schuster.
Oh man, we got to make that happen. Anyone can write children's books these days. It's pretty easy.
Nicholas says he's guessing the trench evolves into this, and the title references that. I had that thought too. He's talking about the Lost Kingdom thing. Was it Kingdom or was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lost.
See, the more I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, but you used a word from one not great Jurassic Park sequel, and another word from another not very good Jurassic Park sequel. Yeah, I had that thought too, but I didn't bring it up right away, partly because I just didn't want to talk about it for very long. And also, I was like, maybe they're doing the Trench thing. Maybe what they're thinking is, we've canceled that Trench movie, so we're going to make this a Trench thing. We're going to combine them like it always should have been, because that as a spinoff never made any sense in my brain.
And that's what we do in Aquaman movies, is we just shove everything in the kitchen sink into one thing. So
yeah, because it will also have 3 or 4 other movies that they considered making sequels to, but for some reason they've also decided, even though that first movie made $1 billion, we're not going to get to make any more after this. Why didn't they just... But if it is the Trench thing, I'm gonna feel weird about it, because I'm gonna be like, why didn't you just call it Aquaman and the Trench, or Aquaman : The Trench, when you were gonna make a The Trench movie anyway? Why Lost Kingdom? Like, oh, that'll sell better than the Trench. Generic things always sell better.
The Lost Kingdom of Darkness.
I think it really should be called, I can't believe you went there, because I was about to go, what it should have been called is Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom, Into Darkness.
Into darkness, out of the shadows. So anyway, my ex-wife, back to him. He wants to know, would you rather watch an animated Smallville season 11
Ooh.
or an animated Gotham season 6?
Oh, definitely Smallville, because there is material that you could adapt, some of which, of what I've read anyway, is kind of fun. I've only read the first 3 arcs, I think. 3? 2. I think I've read 3 arcs of that. I can't remember. I've reviewed them. You can go look and count the videos. I forget now. But it's that series is a lot more tongue-in-cheek than the show, and it understands what it is, and it's dumb in fun ways because it embraces its dumbness. And maybe a Gotham animated season would do that. But and it might be kind of interesting, having not seen that finale, to see what that Batman would do after, you know, Gordon fought all of his villains before him. But you also had that with Smallville, where we basically had Superman fight all of his villains and then he becomes Superman. I mean, it is the same thing, but it would probably be, I don't know, it would be more fun to see some of that material adapted, and I would be immediately more invested in seeing it, because I'd go, well, there's potential for this to be good. I've read that material and I don't hate it. And with Gotham, who knows what that would be. And if it was, Bruno Heller or whatever the showrunner's name for that show was, I'd be like, okay, it's gonna be more of the same, but animated this time.
John Ty, $5 super chat.
Look
Would you
for
rather
Pennyworth, the cartoon?
Would you rather have the new 52 animated movies be what the live action movies are, or still have Zack Snyder's direction for the live-action DC films?
Ooh, let me look at this. Would you rather have the new 52 animated movies? Oh, yes, the animated, the line of the new 52 inspired movies, right? Be what the live-action movies are, or still have Zack Snyder's direction for... It's kind of 6 of 1 for me. I mean, I don't like those movies. Some of them are certainly more coherent than some of the stuff that Snyder made, but I mean, there's more of them, so it's a lot easier to look at that whole thing and be like, at least Snyder had fewer movies. But I can't. That's not a fair answer, because you're saying, all things being equal, we would have continued to make those, and you would have several more movies in the Snyderverse. Snyder's got a style that I enjoy visually, at least. I mean, there's still issues with his direction. I always complain that he doesn't get coverage and he doesn't establish, scenes and stuff. And I get frustrated with some of his CG choices, particularly costumes they could have built but didn't, and stuff like that. But yeah, by and large, I think I would still take his movies over the New 52 inspired line at large. I will say the best movies in that are better, or maybe better than the best Snyder movies. Although I don't know that I would put any of them above the Snyder Cut. I did like. Yeah, I don't think I would. I mean, like, Justice League versus Teen Titans is really good. That last. That Justice League Dark movie, the big event thing that they did to finish the whole thing off, is quite good. It's crazy. It's bad stuff crazy, but it's really fun. It's really enjoyable. But I still don't know that its best movies are better than the Snyder movies. So yeah, I would still take Snyder over that. Low bar, but.
Let me see.
And sometimes cynical in similar ways is the problem with that. Like, they're too influenced by Snyder's vision, I think, too. But some of it anyway. But at least Snyder movies don't have like Vaseline on the lens, so I would take the slow motion over the everything being kind of hazy.
Well, that's the biggest complaint about his new zombie movie, is that everything is out of focus. But
that's true. But there's out of focus, and there's. When I look at it, I feel like I need to go to bed because I'm too tired to look at it. There's haze around all of the lights and stuff. I hate that.
Brightburn, 1985. Let's go away from the geeky for a little bit. Would you rather talk to somebody who's street smart or book smart?
Interesting. Well, I don't know. I feel like I would have more to talk about with a person who was book smart. I think the correct answer, because I certainly would consider myself more book smart than I am street smart. Overall. So, and that's not to say that I'm super book smart. I'm just relative to myself. So I guess I'm going to give you this answer. If it's a back and forth 50-50 conversation, book smart. If it's like say first part of My Dinner with Andre, where it's just a guy, if it's just me listening to a person talk for 50 minutes, absolutely somebody who's street smart. Like, if I have to converse with them, book smart. But if it's a lecture, or if I'm just listening, yeah, street smart, all the way.
Great answer.
Thanks, man.
Mr. Roboto.
Cool question.
Yeah, really cool question. Would you rather a prequel to Smallville, or...
We're still in Smallville territory. It is the anniversary.
Would you rather a Smallville prequel or pre-Pennyworth? Does that mean a prequel to Pennyworth?
Oh, I mean, that's easy.
Or does that just mean
because
Pennyworth?
Just because Pennyworth already seemed like a pointless endeavor, and like I might have said that, or I could have seen people saying that with Smallville at the beginning, where it's like, who cares about how he becomes Superman? But I always thought that there were potentially cool stories to tell about that kid. It's not, how did he become Superman? It's, let's tell stories about the kid before that happens. There's a difference.
But what would be a prequel to that? Just like
it would have to
10-year-old Clark with no powers?
Yeah, you'd have to pitch me the right premise. It couldn't be about Clark Kent. I just don't care about an 8-year-old Clark Kent. But if it's about an 8 or 10-year-old Lex Luthor, that could be interesting. It just couldn't be very long. If you did a mini-series that was the meteor shower happens, Lex loses his hair, he goes back to boarding school, yeah, there's a series there. There's absolutely, because there's a lot of intrigue and drama and stuff that happens in his life and some of the flashbacks that we got. Like, we get some really compelling, interesting flashbacks with that character at that age. And if that was a show, yeah, there's a show there. There's not a 5-season show there, but there's a mini series there. Absolutely.
You could do it. You could structure it exactly like The Queen's Gambit, which is a Netflix mini series, only 8 episodes, that I've watched recently. It's exactly like that. The first episode is her like young, like 8, and she's going into an orphanage, and it sets up all of her like drug addiction and all of her struggles for the rest of the show that she's going to go through as an adult. But it's all from when she's a very young age. It's really cool. That would be awesome to do a Lex Luthor type show like that.
And that's maybe a cop-out answer because, and yeah, that's a great idea for the structure of it. It's maybe a cop-out answer because I'm going to Lex before I'm going to Clark, but that was up until a point kind of a dual protagonist show. So I think it's still fair to say that it's not like it's the Clark Kent show. The only problem with Pennyworth is his name's in the title, and it is about that guy. I've only seen the first 3 episodes, but I don't know how ensemble that ultimately gets. But it is about the one guy. So again, it would probably still have to be just about him, and I really don't care about a teenage Pennyworth. What would it be like? The only thing I can see is what, teenage Thomas Wayne? Like, I don't know. Who cares? We're getting into the Graysons territory at this point. Where like, I'm really glad that show didn't get made. It didn't make any sense to do that.
The Graysons, where the Graysons fight all of Batman's villains before they die, and then they
you know about that? Where it was just like Dick Grayson as a kid with his parents, just doing trapeze things in a circus.
Just traveling around, man. Just a travel show, doing circus.
And I was like, that is preposterous. Why would anybody watch that? And maybe it could have been great. I don't know. But just on premise alone, it's hard to get excited about it. You can make anything work. You know how I feel about that. But the premise doesn't immediately grab me and make, man, I can't wait to see what really flesh out those parents before they get murdered. But I was like, that's preposterous. Like, of course that didn't get made. Then we got Pennyworth. And I was like, oh, okay, so really anything is possible. And now we live in a world where Powerpuff is still going to happen. And it's like, okay, so anything then is possible.
Yeah, man, circus. Remember The Cape? Remember that masterpiece show, The Cape? We have one here from Video Game Secrets. Not sure who this guy is, this Joker.
Jason. That's Jason, everybody. He's just promoting his channel.
Look
in the
at
comments.
This guy. Shameless. No, he says
What's up, Jason?
He doesn't frame it as a would you rather, but I'm gonna turn it into one. He
Jason,
says, if you were...
look at the title of the show. You were here for 15 minutes. Sorry, go ahead.
He says, if you were to go back in time and fix video game history. Would you try? Okay, here's the would you rather part. Would you try to fix the 1983 video game Crash, or would you try to fix the whole Sega console thing?
Absolutely, the Sega console thing, yeah. If you fix... Because the problem is, my favorite things in video games come out of the Crash. If you don't have the 83 Crash, you maybe don't get Nintendo establishing itself the way it did and becoming the big man on campus, and that inspired everybody else in the industry to try harder. It also brought, of course, the industry back from the brink. You maybe don't get video games as the major media player that it is, at least as early as it happened, if you don't have the video game Crash. And after Sega, that was my favorite video game company, and when they stopped making consoles, I kind of stopped caring about video games as much. And so, yeah, there's a lot of wonderful things that have happened since then, of course, and for gamers who like things that I don't care about as much. So this is not going to be the same answer for everybody, but as more of a retro video game fan and thinking about my own era, you know, it's a selfish answer for a selfish question. Like me personally, I'm absolutely going to take going to fix Sega before I'm going to fix Atari. Absolutely. Jedi says the Atari Crash was arguably good for the industry. In the long run, of course it was. Absolutely.
Another one from Video Game Secrets. Would you rather play the entirety of the Genesis port of Return of the Joker or Superman 64?
Oh, definitely Return of the Joker, because it is a bad port, but Superman 64 is a broken game. I think it's different. That Batman game is not fully broken. You could beat that, I think. It sucks. The sprite's too big. It's not good. But Superman 64 is like playing an unfinished game. That was easy.
All right,
I wish they were all this easy.
Rainbow Nightmare
Hi.
at Evolution. Would you rather see Zack Snyder direct Powerpuff Girls or Michael Bay?
The answer to that is always going to be Snyder for me, because neither of them are great storytellers, and both of them make lengthy, bloated movies, and they both have a degree of cynicism to them with some of their projects, with a lot of their projects, particularly their more recent mainstream work. But Michael Bay has never made a movie that I loved, and Snyder made Watchmen and 300. And I like his visual style in a way that I do not care at all about Bay's. Yeah, Bay does not have that stylized.
Bay's all about realism and making it look realistic. Like he doesn't have the stylized stuff that we like. So
he's not making movies for me on any level. And Snyder tickles my artistic sensibilities, if nothing else. So yeah, absolutely. Both of those are terrible choices, but I know that was the point. Is that here's two bad choices. Which bad choice would you take? Snyder all day long. I wish he was directing for the CW.
Yeah, honestly, if I'm going to see a live-action Powerpuff Girls thing, I would rather see a bad choice than, because you can't do that, right? It's going to be weird anyway. Blue Dragon 5, would you rather see a Nolanized Kite Man or Condiment King? We've reached this part of the show.
Yeah. Yes, we have. I want to say Condiment King just because Kite Man's been kind of everywhere since Tom King did what he did with it, and I could not be more sick of Hell Yeah. I think if Nolan directed it, he probably would only say that one or two times, but I wouldn't keep saying it. He says Hell Yeah 15 times, and then Christian Bale goes, oh, so that's what that feels like. But, yeah, Condiment King just for the sake of variety. I haven't seen anybody attempt to do that remotely seriously yet, so.
Okay, we just got one from my ex-wife.
Now, the realistic answer is Kite Man, because that has actually some degree of potential to be done in a serious way. Condiment King would, I think, in a Nolan movie, have to be what Condiment King started off as, which is just it's a joke in the first place inside of a serious world, right? Like people always like to go to Condiment King, like, look how ridiculous this villain is. Yeah, that was the point, though. It's not like, here's a nutso Batman villain. It was a throwback thing where it's like, Batman used to have villains like this. We've moved past that. What if you had, in the reality of Batman the Animated Series or something, somebody who was just really out of touch and a goofball, and they tried to go rob a bank or something? Like, that's all that was. It's not like... Condiment King was not a character that we tried to play seriously. Unless it existed back in the 50s or something, and I don't think it did. I thought that was made for the animated series, but maybe that was a thing they adapted. I'm actually, now that we're talking about it, not sure where Condiment King first comes from. But yeah, so maybe they were just making fun of an old, but even then, like, a lot of those villains back in the 50s and 60s were never played straight. They were just silly also in the first place.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to look that up because I actually don't know the answer to that.
Uh-oh, he's talked himself out of it, guys.
Yeah, I have. You can go ahead and ask a question if you want to. I'm just going to look at the origin of Condiment, or the inception, I should say, of Condiment King.
My ex-wife is a cow has a great one. He wants to know.
I'm right. It was created for animated series.
Yeah.
I questioned that. I wanted to make absolutely certain that, you know, it's not like Crazy Quill or somebody like that does go back to the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, I always feel weird when people try to bring that up like they know something, but that was a joke from the beginning. That even if that was in Nolan, it would be a joke there. But
yeah, exactly.
Kicked out of a Toys R Us or another kidney stone?
Oh, I would definitely rather
get nightmares.
That's so easy, though. I would definitely rather get kicked out of a Toys R Us. I mean, I'd have to go back in time. We don't have those anymore, and I still see that as vindication after Eric and I got kicked out of it. Eric and I and Rasco got kicked out of a Toys R Us, and then 2 years later, no more Toys R Us. Yeah, shows you.
That's funny that they didn't
kicking
just
me out of your store just for filming.
Why didn't they just make you put the camera away? I don't understand why they kicked you out.
That's they're like, you're gonna have to leave. Okay. How about you just give me a warning? Put the camera away, or we're going to ask you to leave. No, leave. All right. Sure.
Good times. That was the edgy years of Geekvolution.
Was not a big deal, man. Like, lighten up. Like, we've got customers that are complaining. Okay, we'll turn off the camera. Like, what about us looked like we were going to, you know, start something?
Rasco and Eric are tall guys. Big
yeah,
guys.
Were you scared of Eric? Is that... Anyway, no, that whole thing is hilarious. The kidney stone was the worst thing ever. Not only would I rather get kicked out of a Toys R Us, I would rather get the cancer surgery I got 3 more times than deal with the kidney stone 1 more time. That's all I'm going to say about that. I don't want to get real personal, and I don't want it to get
graphic.
I don't want it to get gross or anything. But that sucked. It was the worst. It was the worst thing I've ever gone through physically. Absolutely. Don't get those, folks. If you're the kind of person, and I don't want to tell you what to do with your life, I'm just saying, consider, after I said that to you, with how horrible that was, if you're a person that consumes immense amounts of sugar like I used to, or you drink 2 or 3 sodas a day, just know what the payment probably is for that when you reach my age, if you're not my age yet. 35, 40, you're probably getting kidney stones, and I'm telling you, you don't want them. Do whatever you want to do. If it's worth it for you, for the taste of that, do whatever you want to. I don't want anybody to think that I'm telling anybody how to live your life. But I wish somebody had told me that, because I didn't know what that was like. I'd always heard of kidney stones. I didn't know what they were like. When I first got it, I thought I was dying. It was the worst. Like, going to the hospital with that, the most unbearable pain I've ever had.
Well, there you go, folks. There you have it. A lukewarm recommendation of kidney stones from me.
Just know what you're getting yourself into, because everybody's bodies are different, but mine could not handle the amount of sugar that I was pouring into my body.
Don't make a deal with the devil, folks. It's not worth it. He'll give you kidney stones.
Do whatever you want to. Just know what that might be like for you.
All right, kidney stone Gassman. Would you rather see a lengthy incendiary documentary about the making of Howard the Duck or Catwoman 2004?
Howard the Duck would be more interesting, although there is a pretty thorough making of featurette on the anniversary DVD that came out several years ago. I think that was for the 20th anniversary. So I mean, it's an older DVD now, but yeah, there's a Howard the Duck special edition that has a really good featurette on it. I'm not sure that there's much more that I would need to know that wasn't there, and it's real tell-all too. At least as much as it's going to be on a studio DVD. So yeah, that over Catwoman. I'm not really that interested in how that mess came together. That was a mistake in the first place. From the inception of it, like changing that character away from Selena Kyle and watering it down so hard and making it nothing like Catwoman. Halle Berry, of course, was not a great choice for that. Now, if she'd had the right script and they'd done something closer to I don't know, like an Eartha Kitt Catwoman or something, she could have been good. It just, they just didn't give her the right character. I'm not a big Halle Berry fan, but I've seen her in things where I've liked her. She's really good in the John Wick that she's in. So, I mean, like, having seen that, I'm thinking if you gave her the right material, maybe. And I don't mean that it would have to be an Eartha Kitt thing. It just occurs to me that if we did something closer to that, I think she could have pulled something like that off, maybe. I don't know. But I'm not that interested in how that mess happened.
Mr. Roboto puts in $2 just to say Captain Logan is a bad boy.
I mean, I was when it comes to, it's nothing interesting. I never got on a motorcycle and knocked over drugstores or anything. But the craziest thing I ever did was give myself cancer.
Just drinking sodas while he's editing videos for you guys.
That's it, man. And also, if you do the kind of work that I do, you got to find a way to get active. And I always knew that, and I would go through periods where I would make sure I was exercising, and then I would get busy or I would get stressed, and I would just forget to do it, and then you get into a habit of not doing that. You get real set in your ways, and you just decide that you don't have time in your day. And yeah, you can find the 20 minutes. I have found the 20 minutes, and it hasn't been ever since the cancer of the kidney stone. I mean, I never went back to soda, but I did go back to my crappy eating habits for a long time. And for the last month, I've been on an elliptical every single day, and I've been I've been a lot more strict about what I eat, and I feel so much better. And I don't know, it's important. It's just I had a wake up call. It's like the older you get, the more your body can't take some of the crap that you do to it when you're 16. And so anyway, I don't mean to preach about that stuff. I'm just letting you guys know what I'm doing now and how much better I'm feeling for it.
No, it's not preachy. It's what you're going through right now. So that's what the show's for. Just talking about it. Josh Galisano, what are the kind of things you do to stay true to yourself?
Man, that is a deeply personal question, and not in a bad way. I'm just not real sure how to answer it. Yeah. I feel like I need to... It's not a would you rather. I don't have to do it. No, I'll try real quick. We were trying to keep this to would you rather, but I actually really like that question. Man. I almost just want to say, I'll get back to you. I don't know. I don't want to give a crappy answer to this. Anything great leap to mind for yourself, DJ? I mean, is that a thing you've given thought to? Because I mean, I agree with the sentiment, of course. Be true to yourself, but what does that mean specifically?
Yeah, I don't know what way he's meaning it. I don't think he's. I first took it as to be truly yourself. What do you do? And I was thinking.
Oh, did it say truly yourself or true to yourself?
True to yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, the way I took it was. I mean, this maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're thinking more like a moral. I think to your true into your morals or something. I don't. I was thinking you have to write every day or read. You that's part of you. That's a big part of you that you have to be doing it. And if you want to stay true to yourself.
Sure. Yeah. I guess and I mean, I think both of those things are probably part of that idea. I think the best answer I can give is I've tried never to let my whatever I'm doing for a job to fully define me. I feel like your work and who you are as a person are, obviously related. But I think one of the worst things you can do is fall into the trap of letting your job be your entire life. Even if it's what you've always wanted to do, but especially if it isn't. But even with what I do, I mean, and I say that because I've fallen into that trap before, and I try to be really careful not to now. I think it's dishonest and disingenuous to myself if I'm saying, like, if somebody asked me the question, like, who are you, and the answer I gave was YouTube reviewer. That's not accurate. That's not right. It's not good for my mental health and my state of being to answer that way. It's what I do, but it's certainly not who I am. Who I am is a father and a writer and a creative person. I could give some more descriptors like that. And you could say, well, writing is what if writing was your career? And I'd be like, I would feel more comfortable though in saying that, even if it also was my career, because it's so like ingrained in just my chemical makeup. Yeah, that's who I am, and what I do is like, I don't know, I come at everything as a writer and as a creative person. And like a YouTube reviewer is a thing that I'm really lucky that I've gotten to do as a job, but it's not the thing that I initially set out to do. And if I lost it, I could move on and I could find something else. I can always be a writer, even if I'm not doing that, for a living. And so that's the first thing that comes to mind. I feel like I could give a better answer, but we should see if we've got anything else we've got to answer. But I really like that question. I want to try to give a good answer.
Yeah. I don't have any more super chats, but I have
and we are over an hour here, so maybe answer one more.
Okay, got one more. Would you rather from Video Game Secrets?
Oh, Jason. Okay,
Jason. Would you rather have no Street Fighter 2 Challenger Edition, Super and Turbo, or no Virtua Fighter R, Final Showdown, and Ultimate Showdown?
I mean, I'm just not that big of a Street Fighter guy. So
he's getting rid of Street Fighter, sticking with Virtua.
Yeah, certainly. No, I mean, this is blasphemy to Street Fighter, or sorry, to fighting game fans, but yeah, I can live without Street Fighter. I mean, it's important to get us to the games that I like more than it, but I don't even play a lot of Street Fighter. Like, I can definitely live without that. I enjoy it enough that I bought the machine with my arcade 1-ups, but more because I thought the kids would enjoy playing it. Like, it's not even my favorite Capcom fighter, Like, I would much rather play the, X-Men, I say that's also Street Fighter, but Street Fighter plays a little bit differently than the Capcom, versus fighters. But yeah, I mean, I'd much rather play, like, Marvel Superheroes or something.
All right, I've got one more good one from Blue Dragon 5 about the channel. Would you rather go back and focus Superhero Rewind to superhero television series only, or retheme it to be exclusively Sci-Fi Rewind?
If I had to pick between those, I would do the Sci-Fi Rewind thing. Absolutely, I would much rather do that scripted series with a movie-to-movie basis. If I did it with TV shows, I would probably do it like SF Debris does, and do select episodes as opposed to series overviews, because otherwise you would get videos from me like quarterly. Which would also be fun, but I would have much less to show for it. And the quantity is obviously not exactly as important as the quality, but I would want to be able to cover more things than 4 a year, probably. And I realize I've had years like that with Rewind, but I'm doing other things on the channel as well. This would be all I'm doing is 4 videos a year of any kind, if all I could do is, like, season or series overviews for written videos, because they take a lot of time to do. I've done 3 or 4 of those on Rewind, and that Daredevil one was rough, man. I had to watch that show twice, and it was just that first season. Wrote an hour and 15-minute video on that.
Man.
Power Rangers was a lot easier. And that was 60 episodes. But it's Power Rangers, so...
Less story in 60 episodes than there is in 13.
That's right. Less to think about. one of the most fun things to ever write about, though. I really enjoyed that.
Well, we should probably wrap it up because I'm dying.
You okay? You gonna make it?
I'm good.
I'd offer you some water, but you're in a different state than me. Philip, I don't think you read my last super chat. Did you miss one? Oh, give it a second chance, but skip to episode 3 or 4. I'm not sure what he's talking about. It was back far enough. You talking about Voltron?
Oh, maybe so.
Maybe, or that. Oh no, that Jurassic World show. That's what he's talking about.
Oh.
I dislike that first episode so much, though. I don't know if I could commit to doing that, man. Like, more power to you. If it gets better, that's great. But, like, I already didn't care for the animation and some of the voice acting and stuff. Like, and it was just establishing characters I did not care about. So, yeah, maybe it gets better, but I don't know if I care enough to go back to it. I'm not saying I never will. I mean, thanks for saying that, but right off, I don't want to. I don't know.
But what if so many more raptors show up?
I don't.
It just becomes a raptor show.
If it's just the raptor show and I don't have to look at those humans' faces,
All the humans get eaten in episode 3, and then it's just raptors from now
somebody will send me a message and be like, well, there's this one episode that's nothing but raptors. It's like a droid episode from Clone Wars or something. Like, okay, I guess I'll watch that. But then if they eat anybody, I still have to look at the animation of those humans. And I just don't care for the way that show looks. All right, folks. Well, I guess that's gonna do it for us this evening. Philip says it gets better when everyone starts dying. Oh, does that happen? Does everyone start dying? Are they gonna kill off those characters that I didn't like? Okay,
Wow.
I'll consider it.
That's great. It could be cathartic for you.
It's a kid's show. I didn't think that they would have the guts to kill anyone in that show.
Okay. Neither did I.
All right. Well, you piqued my interest, kind of.
Maybe he's just baiting you. Maybe he's just lying.
I get to 4 episodes in. What the heck were you talking about, dude?
Philip!
Thanks a lot for watching, folks. Curse you and your Mexican pesos. No, thanks for the super chats, buddy. Everybody, thanks a lot for watching. I will see you again sometime next week. I don't know what night or nights Jason and I will be streaming yet, so just bear with us as we kind of figure out our week when we're in Branson. I got to figure out what days I don't have to take Jason anywhere and which ones he has to get up early in the morning and that kind of thing. So I don't know yet. Could be Tuesday and Thursday. Could be just one of those days. Could be Wednesday instead. I don't know yet. And then the week after, we'll come back, and at some point that week, possibly the following Monday or the next Sunday, even after that, we'll be doing a how we felt about the first couple episodes of Loki. Although there could even be 3 out already by the time we are able to talk about it, and then we'd already be almost halfway through the show. So I don't know if at that point we would just wait until we do a spoiler cast or not. So at the moment, the plan is to still do a how we felt about, not a full-on spoiler cast, but how we felt about for the beginning of that. I say that, those always turn into spoiler casts now when we do them live, so it doesn't matter. But we will do something on that show soon. And besides that, what else is going on? I'm going to try to get at least one more request out before I leave town if I'm able. So everybody bear with me and be patient about that, because a lot going on with the family right now. We're getting a lot closer to my wife's delivery. There's fewer things she can do as we move along. She's doing great, everybody, but, she's very, very pregnant. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching, everybody, and we will see you again real shortly with more stuff here on Geekvolution. Be sure and check out, if you're so inclined, Jason's new channel, Video Game Secrets. Take a look at that first episode if you didn't get to see it at the beginning of the show. And if you did, stay tuned, because next week he will have a new one up, and it is really informative and fun. So anyway, once again, I was Captain Logan, and there was a DJ of the Martinezes.
Hello. Goodbye.
I don't know why you say hello or goodbye. I say hello. Anyway, later, folks. Bye, everybody.
My brain is mush.